The woman who stopped waiting for permission. For 11 years, Sara kept a folder on her desktop called Someday. Inside it were business plans, half-written ideas, saved articles, and a logo she had designed herself at 2 in the morning when no one was watching. She never opened it at work. She never showed it to anyone. She was waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right person to finally tell her she was ready. That person never came, so at 41 years old, Sara decided to become her instead. The waiting room. Sara was, by all accounts, the most capable person in every room she entered. Her managers knew it. Her colleagues knew it. Even the people who took credit for her ideas knew it, which is perhaps the clearest proof of all. She worked in marketing for a mid-sized company in London for over a decade. She was good at it, reliable, precise. The kind of employee who makes everyone around her look better without meaning to. But every year, when promotion season came, Sara watched someone else step forward. Not because they were more qualified, but because they assumed they were. She had never quite mastered that particular assumption. She told herself it was humility. Her therapist, gently, once suggested it might be something else. Fear dressed up as patience is still fear. She wrote that down. She put it in the folder. Under Someday. The conversation that changed everything. It happened at a work-leaving party for a colleague named Diane. Diane was 62, retiring after 30 years at the same company. She stood at the front of the room with a glass of sparkling water and gave a short speech. She was gracious, warm, funny. And then, near the end, she paused. And she said something that wasn't in any script. She said, "If I am honest with you all, and I think tonight I should be, I spent most of my career waiting for someone to wave me forward. No one ever did. I waved myself forward eventually. But I wish I had done it sooner. I lost good years to waiting." The room laughed, warmly, the way people laugh at something true that makes them slightly uncomfortable. Sara did not laugh. Sara felt something shift in her chest, like a key turning in a lock that had been stuck for 11 years. She drove home that night and opened the folder for the first time in 4 months. She did not quit her job dramatically. She was too practical for that, too aware of her mortgage and her responsibilities and the specific reality of being a woman in her 40s starting something new. Instead, she gave herself 1 hour a day. 6 in the morning, before the world woke up, before the emails arrived, before anyone needed anything from her. 1 hour, every day, no exceptions. The first week she spent mostly staring at the screen. The second week she wrote badly. Rough, messy, embarrassing first drafts of ideas she had been polishing in her head for years. The third week she realized something important. The version in her head had always been perfect because it had never been tested. Real work is never perfect. Real work is just work, honest, imperfect, and alive in a way that a folder called Someday never could be. She started a small brand consultancy, just her, no office, no staff, her kitchen table, and a good lamp. She sent 3 emails to former contacts. 1 replied. That 1 client led to 2 more. 2 led to 4. She did not go viral. She did not land a famous client. She simply started. And starting, it turned out, was the only thing she had been missing. The hard part. 6 months in, she lost her biggest client without warning. 1 email, 2 lines, no explanation. She sat with that for a weekend, let herself feel it fully. The doubt, the embarrassment, the familiar voice that said, "See, you were never ready. You should have waited longer." On Monday morning, she got up at 6, opened the laptop, worked for an hour. not because she felt confident, but because she had learned, slowly, that action is not the reward you get after fear disappears. Action is how you make fear smaller. She kept going. Where she is now. 3 years later, Sara's consultancy has 7 clients, 2 part-time collaborators, and a waiting list. She is not wealthy, she is not famous, but she is, for the first time in her adult life, entirely her own. She deleted the folder called Someday last spring, not because the dreams inside it were gone, but because they were no longer someday things. They were Tuesday things, 6 a.m. things, real, imperfect, alive things. She still thinks about Diane sometimes. She never got to tell her what that speech meant. She hopes Diane knows that her honesty in that room, that one unrehearsed, uncomfortable moment of truth, handed at least one woman in the audience the key she had been looking for.